There's a couple concepts that I've been flowing with lately, and it's been stimulated by a lot of the words that you say. One of them is the whole of who we have become.
Say it again.
The whole of who we have become.
And we could even say that better. Who you are, total self, blended you.
Another one of the phrases that you say, which tickled me in a new way recently, was get ready for what's already ready for you.
Well, see, we appreciate so much you bringing that right here, right now, because that's just what we were talking about. That vortex is ready for you. Are you ready for it? And if you are, it's seeping in meaningful ways into your experience.
And then I want to read something else that you said, because you were talking about the path of least resistance.
And notice, we're not saying path of no resistance. We're saying the path of least resistance. And that's a good enough path.
A beautiful path. And in it you said, the path of least resistance means the path that will get you the most of what you want with the greatest of ease. That path that you are less likely to get in your own way with.
Yeah, it's the most accessible path. And if you miss it, no matter, because it's there again and again and again and again, because your inner being always knows where you stand in relationship to what's in your vibrational reality. And that guidance system never turns off.
And in our conversations that we've had over the years, you've shown me my work, and my work is alignment. Getting in that pocket of alignment.
We can say that a little better, and we're certain we've said something like that to you before, but we can say it a little better now. Your work is to be here, to evaluate, to consider, to decide, to launch the rocket. That's all your work. To feel the onness or the offness, to decide that you want to feel the alignment, to deliberately move in the direction of what feels good, to receive the manifestation of it. So that's all part of your work. But the emphasis, the part of all of that will yield you the most satisfaction and the most results is care about how you feel and gravitate toward that resonant feeling of alignment. Let's just spell it out why. Your inner being is there, is you, is focused upon all that you've become relentlessly, and the law of attraction is responding to that powerful position on your behalf. That's the energy that creates worlds. Why would you fiddle around doing anything less than finding resonance with that point of attraction? Why would you defend some point of attraction just because something happened and it's true? It's true, it happened. So you rationalize and justify and defend it because it happened, even though it's not something that you ever want to happen again. You still defend it and explain it and get other people to understand that that happened when your inner being is doing nothing of the kind. So you have to give up a lot of needing to be right for a lot of wanting to feel good.
That is the number one piece of advice I try to live most by.
Yeah.
Is because I'm also at an interesting place where knowledge seems to be an excuse sometimes to get out of the vortex when you justify positions.
Knowledge of what? Knowledge of something that you've decided is true.
True, yeah.
And so even though it's not something that you want to add to or be part of or attract, and we want to take a minute and tell you why that is. When you feel less than alignment, when you feel negative emotion at so many levels of your being, you know something's jacked up. There's something really, really off here. And so you feel like defending the offness of it because it happened. It's like I need to explain to somebody that it happened. And so then you sort of Esther's finding the words. You sort of double down on it to keep defending it because you don't want to be wrong. It really did happen, and somebody really should call somebody. Somebody really should do something about it. Somebody really should do something about this thing that I don't want. And your inner being's off enjoying the fruits of all of the other things that you've asked for while you're trying to defend this offness. Isn't that interesting?
You said in your words, there's only two types of people, those in the vortex and those not in the vortex.
And everyone is both of those types all day, every day. That's why we say the path of least resistance. Sometimes you're less resistance than others, but you're never so right that everybody else should agree with you. You're only so right that you agree with your inner being, because the rightness is what you've carved out and what your inner being understands as your evolution.
Mm-hmm. Yes, versus trying to rendezvous on points of agreement versus rendezvousing on points of alignment.
Well said. There's a lot that you have to come to know before you're willing to let others have attitudes and opinions about things that you don't want. Because until you know for sure that it's attraction, no assertion. Until you know for sure nobody can assert into your experience and mess your life up, then it's easy to develop a defensive posture. So you're defending against what you don't want, most not having a clue that they're saying, yes, come to me, this thing I do not want. Because attention is an invitation.
So when lately I've been creating, and the majority of my time I'm putting in on alignment, and I'm trying to spend less time in the creating phase and more aligning with.
What we would translate that to be is, I'm looking for more things to have fun with. I'm looking for more things that I take pleasure in. I'm being nicer to myself. I'm not trying to fix everything all at once. I'm taking things as they come. I'm looking for fun. I'm looking for interesting conversations. I'm hanging around with people that are easy to feel good with. I'm following the path of least resistance. I'm not trying to prove my worthiness anymore. I've accepted that I am worthy. And so now I'm just looking for ways that affirm my worthiness. I don't have to beat the pavement. I don't have to work so hard. I don't need to put in the hours. I can be more often a pointer. I can find the positive aspects in myself and in others. I can see the good in the world, even though there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that seems really out of whack. I know my work is to see past that to what's in the vortex and to celebrate how good I feel on my way to me being a manifester of more of that. Yeah.
I love our dance. This is such a beautiful dance because we're having a conversation with your words in my mind. It's amazing.
These are your words.
Exactly. I love it, right? You express everything in my life like I'm not doing as much more for the transactional output, and I'm living a level of abundance. Which
you already did the transactional
step one
output work in step one. You did it. Source did it. Law of Attraction's doing it. So that part of it is done. Now what? Line up with it, which means chill.